Welcome back to The Full View. Now let's look at a legal development that could be good for crime prevention. The passing of the Convicted Offenders Amendment Bill would mean that convicted offenders, people who've gone to prison, will have to take a DNA sample before they're released from prison. So what is the delay? Civil rights organisation Action Society says it's in preparations to take the government to court over this bill. To discuss, we're joined by the spokesperson for Action Society, Elanie van der Walt. Ms. van der Walt, thank you for being with us. So for a bill to become law, there are various steps. So we have the bill. Where is the process right now?
Thanks for having us. Well, unfortunately, the process has been delayed so badly. And at this stage, the bill is just literally waiting for the president's signature. But it has been waiting for the president's signature since 2017. So government has really been dragging their feet to get this bill passed. And in the meantime, violent criminals, Schedule 8 criminals, are walking free without a DNA sample being taken.
And apparently the action that you're going to launch also involving the police minister, Becky Cele, does he have any involvement?
Yes, absolutely. Police Minister Becky Cele is actually the person responsible for the dragging out of this whole process. He's the one that should be bringing it to Parliament. And he's just got no urgency to get this bill signed off and pushed through Parliament so it can actually be implemented. He had an idea about a national database at one stage, which was one of the delays. But at this stage, there's just no noise being made about it, and we're carrying on with the status quo, which is unacceptable.
So now this was going to help, and it sounds like it will help really immeasurably to find repeat offenders, rapists based on DNA samples, and solve a lot of cases if people have been to prison before. Why would the police minister and why would the president not be all over this, in your opinion?
Well, unfortunately, we feel at this stage it's a lack of political will. There's just no urgency from the police minister or the presidency to get this bill signed off. In fact, DNA sampling is part of the Criminal Law Forensics Procedures Act, and it should have been working since 2015 when it was introduced. At that stage, they placed Section 36, which forces them to take DNA samples from convicted Schedule 8 offenders. They placed it on hold because the police and the correctional services didn't have the facilities or the trained personnel to do this. That's where the Convicted Offender Amendment Bill came in. They sampled some of the Schedule 8 offenders but couldn't get through the whole population in time, whereas they requested an extension on this bill. And that, again, was in 2017, and it's been literally just lying on the president's table waiting for a signature. So we really don't know what the holdup is.
And would it be fair enough that there needs to be some national database and proper record collection to make this work?
Well, a national database, meaning South African citizens, is a bit of a pie in the sky, and I think that's also against our constitutional rights. But here you've got a group of people who's actually been convicted of violent crimes like murder and rape. And recently, Ronald Lamola confirmed that almost 100,000 of them have been released on parole since 2016 without a DNA sample being taken. And these are people that are very likely to reoffend. So they're walking around, they can reoffend, they're not being linked to cold cases. They need to give their DNA samples. It's as easy as that.
So what difference do you think it would have made? Of course, you're just speculating, but how do you think things would be different if this hadn't been sitting on the president's desk, like you say, since 2017?
Well, the fact is that DNA is the most effective crime-fighting tool. I'll give you a recent example of a gentleman by the name of Mki, who was arrested for a common assault charge. And at that stage, they actually the police officer took his DNA sample. And through that, they could link him to 30 cold cases, rape cases, and he was found guilty on 30 rape cases. So it's proof in action that DNA does work as linking to cold cases, and hopefully it will serve as a deterrent. You know, if criminals know that they can be linked to other crimes, hopefully it will deter them from committing the same crimes again.
Yeah, because it can be used retrospectively if you're caught in the future. So what about your court case? How far are you with that? When could this go to court?
Well, at this stage, we've actually created a legal justice fund. We're calling it Action Society Justice Fund. And we're busy, our lawyers are busy preparing the case at the High Court, which will hopefully, if ruled in our favor, enforce the president to enforce the Convicted Offenders Amendment Bill with immediate effect, because this miscarriage of justice, just unfortunately, it can't continue.
And are people supporting that justice fund?
We are getting a lot of support, but we would like to urge the public to actually visit our website and get more details about the court case and our justice fund. Obviously, these legal matters cost quite a few rand. It's not a cheap exercise, but we are very determined to go ahead with our court application at the High Court against the President and the Minister.
All right, thank you for your time. That was Action Society spokesperson Elanie van der Walt.